Good morning. Welcome to Our Town at Comma Coffee. I'm Kurt Caraway. This morning we're going to be talking with Frankee Haynes, who works for the Carson City District Attorney's Office as the Victim Witness Coordinator. Right now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
Care. It's a word we hear every day. But what does it really mean?
It means loving what you do.
Care is respect, dignity, kindness, and joy.
It means being passionate about what you do.
Care is what we do every day.
It means everything to my patient.
I am healthcare that does care.
I am Carson Tahoe.
And welcome back. Good morning, Frankie. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
All right. We're going to talk about the SAVE program, which is the elder abuse and program to help people who can't help themselves, or protecting people who can't help themselves.
Correct.
If you can explain a little bit about that, because this is a fascinating program.
It's to stop the abuse of the elderly and the vulnerable here in Carson City. It's always going to start with a police report through the Carson City Sheriff's Office. It's a collaborative effort where we work together as a team to try and conquer the abuse, exploitation, and isolation of our elders, which is 60 years and over here in Carson City.
Okay. And I mean, the DA's office kicked off this effort a couple months ago, I believe. You know, officially kicked it off. And what's the progress been? Have you seen some progress with this in terms of, you know, getting reports and prosecutions?
Absolutely. I would say that we probably have about a 45–50% increase, where before the people had a little fear of reporting because they felt that it was a civil matter and it wasn't a criminal matter. Well, we've changed that. We're educating the Sheriff's Department, the deputies, the detectives, and all the other agencies that work together with the elders and within the community, and let them know that it's not a civil matter. It's prosecutable, and we plan on prosecuting these crimes. So with that word getting out, we've gotten a lot of police reports and a lot of follow-up cases, and we're now prosecuting, I believe, 10 on calendar right now.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, and you know, explain to people who don't know a little bit much about this. I mean, what constitutes elder abuse? You know, some things that I think people don't understand that do, like isolation. You know, keeping somebody in isolation. People think is that a crime? But
it is a crime. And it's when someone, for example, example, a handyman will come and befriend an 80-year-old female wanting to do work around her home, charge her a slight or a large amount of money to do this, and slowly, within 6 to 8 months, they isolate her. He tells her not to contact the family, they're mean, they're bad to her, old friends that she's always had lunch with, beauty shop people in the community. They slowly just isolate them to where they have no contact anymore. And the only contact that they have is with the handyman. So they grow to rely on them and depend on them for everything. Sometimes grocery shopping, taking them anywhere, transportation, medical, hospital visits, anything like that. They grow to depend on them so much they wouldn't reach out to anybody else. Yeah,
and then of course, you know, some of them are after money too, and getting control and getting that kind of control in order to steal money from them, which is...
Yes. Financial exploitation is a biggie as well. The example that I just gave you, they can come in, say that they're broke, they need their house payments made, their car payments made, give them a sob story. Pretty soon that female's going to quick claim her home over to him, and she's going to have nothing left to her name. And they can do that within 12 months.
Wow. So, and then, I mean, you know, and I see some of the police reports that come in. I mean, there's some physical abuse, too, that goes on with elderly people here, which, you know, is something that's, you know, needs to get prosecuted, and you're seeing more reports of that, too, right? Is that...
Yes. The abuse of the elderly is quite prevalent. Caregivers get frustrated. It's really outside the scope of their education to care for them, and so we're seeing a lot of the physical abuse, which is very sad, and the degree is worsening.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to take a short break right now and come right back after word from our sponsor.
Never before have 2 words said so much. I am is what motivates us every day.
I am grateful.
I am is what drives us to treat each patient like family.
I am blessed.
And I am is what you can depend on when you need it most.
I am a survivor.
I heal.
I care.
I am Carson, Tahoe.
And we're back with Frankee Haynes from the DA's office and talking about the SAVE program. Now, what does SAVE stand for?
Stop the abuse of the vulnerable and elderly.
Okay. Now, some people there's some people who are a little confused about what this program is, that they have to be members or something like that, but it's really, you don't have to be members. It's all just about awareness and how to prosecute these cases. Is that
correct?
Okay.
As I said in the beginning, it always starts with a police report. You always want to report to the Carson City Sheriffs. From that point, within 3 days, sometimes with or without a continued investigation, that report's going to get forwarded to our office. Our district attorneys are going to decide if we're going to prosecute these cases or not. If we do, then if there's an elder abuse component to it, then it slips over into the SAVE program.
Okay.
That's where I would become involved and provide referrals and assist the elder throughout the process.
Okay, so you can walk them through and help them with whatever their needs might be at that point in terms of explaining how the prosecution's going to go about and also finding services for them, right, if they need some services. Because some of them do. They need, after they've come out of an abusive situation like that.
Yes.
Like what services are available for them?
There's all kinds of things. There's food, shelter, aging protective services may need to get called out. They may need emergency medical care. There's a whole gamut of things that they may need help with. But my primary job is to assist them throughout the court process and the prosecution.
Yeah.
Anything in addition to that, I'm going to bring in other agencies. For example, Aging and Elder Protective Services.
Okay. And helping these people through the prosecution is important because it's confusing and of course if the abuser is somebody who's related to them or somebody they've been friends with, there's always that kind of regretful, sometimes it happens with abusing things.
It's very sad, and if you find yourself at 80 years old, you may not have ever even had a parking ticket, let alone become a victim of a violent crime and find yourself neck deep in the criminal process. Going to court, going in front of a judge, having to testify, having to deal with myself and the attorneys. It's very overwhelming, so they need one pillar there who can assist them throughout the process, provide answers and information.
Okay, and you're that pillar.
And I'm that pillar.
All right. So, is there anything else that people need to know about this program? If they see elder abuse, if if they suspect it, what are some things that they can do or
if you
signs to look for?
Suspect it, you want to report it immediately. Court-mandated reporters, which is almost all of us, need to report within 24 hours. You want to either report to Aging and Elder Protective Services or the Carson City Sheriff's Department. Those are the two court-mandated reporting agencies. So once that happens, then you want to provide any information that you can, first and last names, the things that you suspect, the things that you see. And also, if you want the contact information for the SAVE program for our department, the District Attorney's Office, you want to call 887-2268. Okay. We're also on the Carson City website. I have a web page on there, so if you have any questions, you can contact me through there.
Okay. And is there signs that people need to look for? If you have an elderly neighbor and that maybe they're shut in or they're only seeing one person, they've cut off. Is that something to watch out for? Or is that some signs there?
Absolutely. If you see an elder who used to walk 2 and 3 times a day, very active out in the community, and then all of a sudden you can go weeks without seeing him or her, that's one thing. If you see bruises, contusions on their body, you really want to raise a red flag there. And you're not judge and jury at home. You turn it over to the Sheriff's Department so they can be judge and jury. When in doubt, report.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on and letting us know about this. And thank you for tuning in to Our Town at Common Coffee. We will catch you next time.
Care. It's a word we hear every day. But what does it really mean?
It means loving what you do.
Care is respect, dignity, kindness, and joy.
It means being passionate about what you do.